In 2012, Laura Babcock was a 23-year-old woman living in Toronto. She was described by friends as creative, kind, and trusting. Someone who believed the best in people, sometimes to a fault. That trust would ultimately place her in the path of someone who would betray her in the most horrific way. Laura was in an on-and-off relationship with Stephen Beard, a man more than 30 years older than her. Beard was wealthy, controlling, and deeply manipulative. Friends noticed the imbalance in the relationship, but Laura believed she could manage it. Over time, Beard became possessive and volatile, especially when Laura tried to pull away. In July 2012, Laura vanished. Beard told her family and friends that she had moved away, that she wanted a fresh start and didn't want to be contacted. At first, some people believed him, but as weeks turned into months, the story began to unravel. Laura had left behind personal belongings, her phone activity stopped suddenly, and no one had heard from her directly. Behind the scenes, something far darker had already happened. Investigators later determined that Beard had murdered Laura inside his condo. The crime was calculated and methodical. After killing her, Beard dismembered her body and attempted to conceal the remains using containers, chemicals, and storage units, all carefully chosen to avoid detection. He believed money and planning would keep the truth buried. But crimes like this have cracks. Beard's behavior raised red flags. He continued living his life as if nothing had happened, even entering a new relationship. Yet inconsistencies in his stories and suspicious purchases caught the attention of investigators. Surveillance footage, digital records, and witness testimony slowly painted a clearer picture of what really happened inside that condo. In 2014, police searched a storage unit connected to Beard. Inside, they found containers holding Laura's remains. The discovery was devastating. For nearly 2 years, Laura's family had lived in uncertainty, clinging to hope. Now they were faced with the brutal truth, not only that she was gone, but that someone she trusted had gone to extreme lengths to erase her existence. Stephen Beard was arrested and charged. During the trial, prosecutors laid out the full scope of his actions: the manipulation, the lies, and the chilling effort to cover up the crime. The jury ultimately found him guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison, where he remains today. The Laura Babcock case is a haunting reminder that danger doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it hides behind charm, money, and false concern. It's a story about control, betrayal, and a life taken far too soon, but also about persistence, investigation, and the truth eventually coming to light. Laura Babcock was more than a victim. She was a daughter, a friend, and a young woman whose life mattered, even when someone tried to make her disappear. Subscribe and visit the page for a deeper dive into these stories.